Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Blackwood and I'm from Healthier Steps. How are you doing today? We are in for another amazing recipe on this or live. Let me know where you're joining us from. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe, like, leave a comment and let us know where you're joining us from. And if you're on Facebook, thank you so much for your support. Please follow my page, Healthier Steps. And if you're on Instagram, thank you so much for your support, like and share. And please come back on Tuesdays to Friday for our live programs. So we have one more live tomorrow and then it's the weekend rest. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing great. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your support, all your comments. I really appreciate you one and all. You've been such a blessing and such an encouragement. And let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So what are we cooking today? What are we cooking today? Today I'm cooking quinoa. Quinoa. A lot of people don't like quinoa when it's just cooked plain. Don't like it. So I'm going to share with you how I prepare it, especially for beginners. If you're wanting to try quinoa, you just never tried it, I would say make this recipe first and you will love quinoa after this. You will fall in love with quinoa. So what is quinoa? It is a seed or what they call a pseudo grain or a false grain. It's not a true grain. It's actually a seed. I think it's from the gooseberry family. And these little seeds are high in protein, super high in protein, high in fiber. And so for those who are diabetic, this is excellent because it won't spike your blood glucose levels. It's great to eat. It's a great replacement for rice. And if rice is one that grain that makes you feel bloated after eating it, quinoa is the answer. Try switching it out with quinoa. And the beauty about quinoa, you can literally use it in any recipe that you have that calls for rice, whether it be a casserole or a ball risotto, or is it fried rice. Just switch your quinoa out. And that's why I'm going to share with you how to make it seasoned quinoa and how I prepare it. So it's a seasoned recipe. So what you're going to do first, I'm going to add onions. I'm going to do onions and garlic. I'm going to make it simple and a green onion. That's it. Very simple recipe. But the flavor is going to be on point today. Any comments, Jean? Hi, Boniface. Thank you. Welcome. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Hi, Angelique. Hi. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to... Emelisa. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. It is another beautiful hot day here in sunny Florida. We're having amazing weather, nice dry heat. Perfect time of the year to visit Florida. If you are considering visiting, come on down. It's like the perfect weather right now. I would say if you want to travel to Florida, do so in the fall and the spring, not in the summer. Or if you just want to get away, if it's cold wherever you are. Right now, if it's cold, now is the time to come to Florida. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some coconut milk. So the rule of thumb for quinoa is 1 cup quinoa to 2 cups liquid. But because I want it fluffy, I'm going to do 1 cup to 1.5. And if anything, I can always adjust it, but that's where I'm going to start. Because I want it nice and fluffy. I don't want it too soggy. So I'm adding onions. Hi, Hawa. Hi. I'm preparing quinoa, similar to millet. I know a lot of people use on the continent, they do finger millet. Same idea. You could substitute with millet instead of quinoa. If you don't have quinoa, just same recipe, but just use millet. Will taste just as good. So I'm adding next garlic. Doing garlic. And I'm just bringing that to a boil. It's all about the flavor, what you do. Like, I don't mind eating my quinoa plain right now. I can have it plain. But when I first started, the first thing once I tasted it, I said, it's an acquired taste, which I have acquired it. But I thought about people who are eating it first. And you want to make the most of quinoa because it's so nutritionally dense. So if you want to include it, you want to have to enjoy it. You know, if you don't like it, it's good to enjoy eating it. So this is definitely one of the great way. I'm adding green onions. All right. So that's my base. I'm going to add a vegan bouillon cube. So you could have added, instead of the water, you could do a vegetable broth, or you could just add salt. Just going to add salt to taste if you don't have these. It'll still taste good. And you want to make sure the cooked bouillon cube is distributed equally. So you're going to mash it out. And now I'm going to layer my I'm just going to layer it now with the flavors. So what I'm going to add to it, you can add a turmeric or you can add curry powder. So I'm going to go with curry powder since that has a lot more flavor. So I'm going to add some curry powder. You could add turmeric and say cumin, but I'm going to add curry powder to it. I'm going to go ahead and add a little cumin to make it a little bold, the flavor a little bit more bold. Not a lot, just a little. Alrighty. Then I'm going to add, I think, onion powder, boosting that flavor. So when you're eating this, it's almost like it's a meal by itself. Then I'm going to add a little garlic powder. I know I added a lot of garlic, but there's a difference in taste when you do powder from fresh. All right? It's concentrated flavors. This is good enough for flavor now. And I can add a little spice, little seasoning, little herbs. So you could add any blend of dried herbs to boost the flavor. I know I might need a little bit more salt, so I'm going to add a little bit more salt, just a little bit, to boost the flavor. Now this is well seasoned. It's going to taste excellent. When I add my quinoa, I'm just going to add my quinoa next. Once it's boiling, you can let the flavors meld a little bit, so you could boil it a little bit to bring all the flavors together. Next, I'm going to add my quinoa. And if you wash your quinoa, wash it in a fine mesh strainer. That's what I did, but it was sitting there. So it always comes together. So you're going to loosen it. You're going to loosen it a bit. So I'm loosening it. And so always wash your quinoa because On the outer layer of the seed, there are saponins on it, and they're put there so that it will keep bugs away from quinoa. So most quinoa is organically grown because it has natural saponins or pesticides, you'd say then, to keep all the bugs away. So some people, who's, hi Joel, thank you, thank you. Oh, bless you, bless you. And who? Yes, nice, thanks. Thanks. And you can use whatever grain. If you use the grain that you have right now, if you can't get your hand on quinoa, just use the grain, but the same principle applies. Especially if you don't like brown rice. So because a lot of people know that they need to switch to brown rice. However, they don't like brown rice to taste. Cook it like this and you like it. You'll fall in love with it. Hi, Mohammed. So I'm just going to give it a stir, bring it to boil. Then I'm going to lower it once it starts boiling, the secret to making good fluffy quinoa or rice, you're going to bring it to a boil. Then you're going to cover it. And once it's boiling, then you reduce back the heat on the stove. And then you put it aside and let it cook and do its thing. Don't be bothering it. Don't be stirring it. The more you stir it, you release starches and it becomes sticky and gooey. You don't want that. Just thank you. Thank you, Jean. While Jean sets up, I love to share with you about my cookbook, Healthier Steps 125 Gluten-Free Vegan Recipes. This book is a treasure, and it's my pride and joy, and I know it will become yours because the recipes are full of flavor. And you know, joking, I actually know so because these are the comments and the feedback that are on Amazon. So go over to Amazon, look for Michelle Blackwood, and you'll see my cookbook. And this book has been selling like hot bread for 8 years. And there's a reason why, because the recipes are so good. The recipes will change your family meals, especially if you're someone who would love to include more plant-based meals into your repertoire. If you're thinking like the holiday seasons are coming up and you know you're going to find people come to your get together and they're like, I don't eat meat anymore. You can have a lot of dishes that you just serve them as side dishes. Just serve them as the sides. Everyone will enjoy them. And you don't even have to say anything that it's plant-based. It is. As a matter of fact, there's so many food that we eat every day that's plant-based. And we don't differentiate them. You eat rice, that's plant-based. You eat vegetables, once they're not cooked with meat, and you cook them as a side, they're plant-based dishes. So go ahead, get a copy of this cookbook. You won't regret it. It will solve the problems because there's nothing like eating bland food or food that basically make you waste your money buying ingredients that you end up wasting. So check out this book. One of my readers, I know it's not even one, is some of them, they say, look, Michelle, I go from cover to cover and I've made every single recipe in your book. Isn't that amazing? How many of you have bought books and you probably made one recipe, then you put it aside? This is not the book. You're going to make every single recipe. Thank you so much. And let's keep going. And while you're over on Amazon, there are many other books that I have over there you can check out. I have books for children about coloring books. I have books, puzzles about health, travel. This summer is coming on. Are you taking that long trip to Europe? I'm planning to. And while you're there, while you're traveling that 8-9 hour flight, why not do puzzles about different countries, the world, learn a little history and geography while you do, and enjoy, enjoy. Blessings to you, one and all. So, hi, Joanne. Hi, Joanne. Thank you so much. I think that's Joanne Evans. Is it Evans? Oh, blessings. Blessings to you. Hope you're having a beautiful day and getting ready for the holiday. I know a lot of people are getting ready for the holiday. Enjoy, enjoy, and spend time. Good evening. Ed, Edward. Good evening, good evening. So next, today we are going to juice next. I love my daily juice. Oh boy, I look forward to this. It's like my highlight of my day. It's not even the food, the cooking that is my highlight. The juice is my highlight. So for today's juice, we're gonna do apples. I have a lot of apples and I need to use them up. So today we're gonna juice apples. But the star of the juice today, the star of the show, is fennel. Fennel. It smells just like licorice. Smells amazing. So this is what they use in toothpaste. Same family. Not the seeds. This is the actual fennel bulb. And I guess they use the seed, the essential oil from the seeds. However, this is the bulb and it tastes amazing. It has that nice sweet licorice flavor. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to put some burdock because I have a lot of burdock too. And I want to use up my burdock, my stock for the week. So I'm going to do fennel with burdock. So we're adding fennel. And you can get your fennel at any supermarket. Sometimes there's stuff in the supermarket and people just walk by. They want their carrots, their potato, their tomato, their bell pepper, and they see this far-looking vegetable. I'm the type of girl, I go for those more. I'm like, ooh, I got to cook with this. I got to cook with it. So I'm going to add apples. Apples. Let's add another apple. Apples are great because they are high in pectin. That's like my favorite thing to say. And the pectins are great for your gut health. Ginger. I love, love, love me ginger. I love ginger. One of the reasons I love ginger because it's great for digestion. I rarely have any digestive health issues. You know, some people get indigestion and stomach issues, bloated, gas. I don't because I'm juicing ginger every day. Turmeric, great, great, great for circulation. It has almost the exact same property as the ginger. So they're both anti-inflammatory. They're healing, calming. This one, they're both good for pain. So they're excellent to include in your diet. They're both good for your skin, especially the turmeric. Great for skin. And I just love the turmeric. I like that orange color. And I remember, and if you didn't know, turmeric is what makes curry powder yellow. That's the chief ingredient. And I remember when I started going back to Jamaica to visit by the way, I'm from Jamaica. And I left when I was 19. So I've been out for a while. But whenever I will go back to visit my Aunt May, I always just love, she lives in the countryside, but right in front of the beach. However, I always love to go to the wooded area. Because as a child, that is where I would spend all my summers with my Aunt May. And we as kids would just roam in the woods all day long playing and just go to the beach, meet her husband. He was a fisherman, so we'd meet him in the mornings and we'll take home the catch and she would prepare it. She would salt some, hang it up because I don't remember if she had electricity. I don't think she did then. as a child? I don't remember. But I remember she would dry the fishes and salt them. And then I remember we'd go to the wooded areas around. And one of the things that we'll do is eat wild food, mangoes, whatever is wild. And I just love those idyllic days. Just love, just fun memory as a child. And this is carrot from my garden. I did a video. If you didn't see the little video of yesterday I did with me harvesting them, look how huge. Organically grown, no fertilizer, apart from natural. What we did was the compost tea. But look at, I can't believe it. I'm still in shock that this is the size that we're getting from organic carrots. And I'll add a little bit because it's big. And we would go, and I remember there was a jimbling tree, and there would just be wild fruits. And one of the things that was very, very prolific in that area was turmeric. Just go wild turmeric everywhere. And I remember years later when I now was married and we went back to visit, I wanted to go back to that wooded area. I was like, I gotta go there because it brought back so much memories, my childhood memories, and I had to go back. So I took my husband and my daughter, my son was born as it, and we went there, and there was a jimbling tree. That's like a gooseberry jimbling tree. And I remember us harvesting the turmeric. And I harvested the turmeric, dried the turmeric, ground it, and took it back with me. And this is going back over 14 years. So it's a long time, maybe 20 years ago. And I'm thinking now we threw it out, but it's since Jean started working, we end up throwing it out. And now hopefully it's still there, but I believe because we went through the cupboards again, but I always kept it. There were two things that I threw out that I was like, after that, I was like, we shouldn't have, because they're just memories. But it was homemade. We dried it ourselves and I ground it into turmeric powder. And it was so strong. I mean, it was so strong. The flavor was not like the ones in the store. So that was beautiful memories. And growing back up in Jamaica, we took things for granted because growing up there, things would just grow wild. Fruits grow wild. You'll see mango trees on the sidewalk and you'll be driving and there's coconut trees everywhere. I took that for granted. And when I traveled, I realized it's not the same. Yesterday I was talking to my husband and I said, I was out in the garden and I was saying, you know what? I feel so happy when I'm outside in the garden and I see the fruits and the vegetables. I get excited. And I said to him, I would love that anytime than just concrete around me. I don't like the concrete because I can't eat the concrete. I said, the fruits and the trees outside and the vegetables signify to be life. Life. The other one signifies to me the opposite. Because to me, those plants, the seeds will come. It's like the cycle of life going on. The seeds and you can grow them. And I like in the spring because I don't know what's coming back from the year before. Like yesterday we found lots and lots and lots of cilantro. It's seeded and now we have an abundance of a whole area with just cilantro in the garden. And then there's another area with just spinach, Malabar spinach. And we're like, what are we going to do with all that Malabar spinach? And I'm like, just let it grow, you know? And the beauty is you grew one plant and now it multiply exponentially. That's how our life should be. That's how our interaction should be with each other. We should give exponentially. So if I'm your friend, I should be giving you exponentially. It's all about what I give to you. Then your cup will overflow, and then once it's flow over, you flow it over to someone else. That's life. That's those were the lessons that I was getting yesterday when I was out in the garden. The abundance. There was just kale. And a friend of mine, she said, Michelle, you need to harvest the kale. You need to harvest. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't have time. We need to give them away. Because I just don't have the time. There's just so much abundance. Now, the little you get, and it just overflows. Hope I'm not boring you. I hope I'm not boring you. But yesterday those were the lessons I'm getting, the beauty. And I remember when I lived at another place and they had a farm, it used to hurt me that they threw out the stuff. There'd be a lot of bounty and they just use them for compost. And I'm like, but guess what? Sometimes it's the fact that it's mechanical. Who's going to come harvest it? It's time. It's the cost. How are you going to get the stuff in time? So after a while, I understood that sometimes it goes right back in to build that soil. But it's unfortunate that a lot of food do go to waste because the location, the means to harvest it. So imagine that somebody may be where the concrete is and they have to join a food line. They have to, I hope you're reading between the lines. They have to join line or they have to put their hand out. But however, if they were living in a location where they can grow their own, they'll have an abundance. An abundance. It's amazing. The lessons. All right, I think that's enough. Let's go back. Yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. This is so exciting. Feel free to ask me. Hope you made this quinoa dish. Hope you tried, and the juice, fennel is unique. It has a unique flavor and that tastes amazing. So I hope you try it. And there's a recipe that I made about 20 years ago with the fennel, and I can't remember the recipe. And it was with fennel and a white sauce and pasta. And to this day, I cannot remember. And every time I try, it doesn't taste. Have you ever had that experience like the way I used to make it? And it's over like maybe 26 years ago. And now I can't get that recipe. So I've been working on that recipe and I still can't get the taste that my husband loved, and I love that dish. It was fennel. If you have a recipe like that, it's fennel with like a roux, like a flour sauce, and with pasta. That's all I can remember. But I made it such a long time ago, and I used to make it all the time, and somehow I just never wrote it down. And now I didn't make it for years, and now I can't remember to get that taste that I'm looking for. Can't remember. Maybe it has, I don't remember. Yeah. But anyway, this is the juice. This is the juice. All right. Wow, look at the color. I love the color. Cheers. So good. I'm tasting the carrot. Then the fennel is faint in the back. It's not overpowering. And because the apples are in it is sweet, it's delicious. Be sure to join us next week. The ginger and the turmeric is popping. Be sure to join us next week for more. Oh, tomorrow too. I forgot about tomorrow. For me, it feels like the weekend is over. I feel like I'm here. I'm so excited. So be sure to join me tomorrow for another live. Usually on Fridays, the latest we try to go on is 12, between 12 and 12:30. Um, and then next week again, from Tuesdays to Friday, we do live. We will do a juice and the recipe, and we'll talk. Oh yeah, don't forget the quinoa. Is it 15, 20 minutes yet? I've been trying to talk so we can go. Is it dehydrated there? Yeah, it's good. Mm. Guys, I'm really just enjoying this. This is so good. Yeah, all right, all right. I turn it off. This is excellent. I'm enjoying so much. I need a little more. All right, we're gonna switch around and check on the quinoa. We're gonna check on the quinoa. Put this over here. All righty. This knife. All right. Oh man, that's perfect. Perfecto. Love it. So you gotta try this recipe. It is amazing. Good stuff. All right, let me. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. Oh, you want to turn on this? Okay, I'm gonna turn on the overhead. This quinoa is cooked to perfection. It looks fluffy, just like I. Mm, and I know the flavor is amazing. Look at that. Perfect. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Look at that. Fluffy quinoa. I know the flavor is there. I just, let me drink some juice. Too excited. You try this, you'll always love quinoa. Just imagine pairing that with your favorite cold protein, salad. That's a meal right there. Excellent. And just imagine drinking this before you eat it. That's it. You're in. This is packed with nutrients, packed with nutrients, delicious. What more do you want? Just to give God thanks. Ain't it? I'm giving God thanks for the beautiful day. It was nice. Thank you so much for your time, your attention. And please share this life. You got to share this life. More people need to learn how to cook easy, delicious meals that are budget friendly and they're plant based. They taste good. I think a lot of people, when you ask them why they are reluctant to eat plant based, is because they're thinking in their mind of food. They're gonna be eating vegetables all day long, salad. They're gonna be like rabbit. I'm showing you now. There's so much to eat. My website, healthiersteps.com, has over 1,000 recipes. And we're always adding new recipes to this site. I'm at the point where now I am not even putting everything on there because I have something exciting in store for you guys, just for you. So I'm actually not even putting everything. There's so much over there already. Who makes 1,000 different recipes? I remember when we ate meat, we basically know which day of the week, what we're going to eat, what we're going to eat. It was the same old. On Sunday, I know it's going to be rice and peas and chicken on Sunday. Maybe another Sunday might be maybe a different meat, but it was rice and peas on Sunday. You knew exactly what you eat every day. There are people who eat chicken and they eat chicken every day. How about a website that has 1,000 recipes? You can't. There's variety upon variety, you name it. So it opens up a new world to you. And that's what we talk about life. Life should be exponential, newness, growth, life. Not the same old boring stuff. How about enjoying healthier steps? Take care. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. Hmm.